When Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best. They're not sending you. They're not sending you.
Before Donald Trump was making big moves to become the 45th president of the United States of America,
they're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists, and some, I assume, are good people.
Before having the most awkward backstage hangout of all time with Ben Carson, before Donald Trump amassed his $4 billion fortune,
$9,240,000,000.
before Donald created the most infamous hairstyle in the world.
I never attacked him on his look, and believe me, there's plenty of subject matter right there.
Before Donald Trump trademarked the phrase,
"You're fired."
Donald Trump was born and raised in Queens, New York, but he was a little bit of a problem child. In fact, he actually punched his second grade teacher, and his parents, they decided to shape him up by shipping him away to New York Military Academy. There he was coined the ladies' man, but it was a school filled with boys. Trump entered the real estate market following in his father's footsteps. This was after attending Fordham University and Wharton Business School, although he doesn't mention that very often.
Hey, I went to the Wharton School of Finance. I was a really good student.
I went to the Wharton School of Finance. I was an excellent student.
Why do you feel it's important to tell us that all the time?
If I were a liberal Democrat, people would say I'm the super genius of all time.
Donald Trump managed to cut out a piece of the New York City landscape for himself with the construction of the New York Convention Center, as well as the Midtown Trump Tower. By the 90s, his outspoken and larger-than-life personality made him a celebrity outside of the realm of real estate. He appeared in films, magazines, and on talk shows, laying the foundation for the fascination the world has for Donald Trump. What's going on, guys? My name is Michael McCrudden, and welcome to Before They're Famous, documenting the life and career of Donald Trump prior to fame, here for you on Before They're Famous. Now, I have done this video in the past, but we did a whole lot of real estate in that. Here we're going to go into a little more depth. This is an updated version. I hope you enjoy it. Plus, this guy really is the talk of the town. Let me know in the comments down below who you want to hear about next.
Excuse me. I'll use the word anchor baby.
We have very stupid people in our country.
Look at all those people back there. Scavengers. They're like scavengers.
Hello? Hello? Can I have some water? This is not exactly a poker player, folks.
Donald John Trump was born on June 14, 1946 to Fred and Mary Ann Trump in Queens, New York. Donald started his life immersed in the business of real estate. His father ran Elizabeth Trump & Son, the development company responsible for building much of the low-income housing units in New York City. The fourth of 5 children, it was young Donald who lived in his father's shadow. He attended his first construction site at the age of 5, and he drove a bulldozer for the first time at the age of 13. Now, although his father was pretty happy with his son's interest in the real estate market, he had also labeled him a rough fella. And Donald had a habit of getting himself in trouble. In the second grade, he punched his music teacher, thinking she didn't know what she was talking about. And then by the time he was 13, well, his parents had enough. They enlisted him in New York Military Academy. During his years, Donald Trump rose through the ranks at the academy and became the captain of many of the sports teams in his senior year. He was also given the title of ladies' man in his yearbook, which is pretty impressive because at the time he didn't have his billions of dollars. And also, it was a school just for boys. So they must have really liked him.
I love you very much.
Once out of the academy, Donald Trump was eager to get into business. At the age of 19, he refused to wear anything but a suit. He also carried a briefcase everywhere he went. He also got for himself a nice pair of wheels, a Ford Fairlane convertible. Daddy must have paid. Trump then attended Fordham University for 2 years and then the Wharton School of Business.
People would say I'm the super genius of all time.
Now, there was one class where Donald decided to speak up, announcing to everyone that he was going to become the king of New York City real estate. Now, the man didn't have an interest in partying, he never drinks alcohol, but he did have a taste for the ladies. He decided one day to ask out Candace Bergman, she turned him down, and she would go on to become Murphy Brown. Donald graduated in 1968 with a degree in economics and joined his father in the family business. In fact, Dad had already given him $2 million to play around with, and he had made some profitable deals while still in school. Donald had also been drafted to join the Vietnam War, but he ended up getting his hands on a medical deferment because of bone spurs in his heels. Daddy's contacts. Meanwhile, a guy by the name of John McCain, he was out there and he became a POW. But Trump, he has this to say.
I like people that weren't captured, okay? I hate to tell you.
Donald spent the 70s following in his father's footsteps, developing housing for the middle class, but by the 80s, his larger-than-life personality, well, it had him becoming more than just a real estate mogul. Trump became known for his lavish properties, the Trump Tower, multiple casinos, including the Taj Mahal in Atlantic City. He even bought the famous Plaza Hotel. You know this one from Home Alone 2.
Where's the lobby?
Down the hall and to the left.
Thanks.
He released his own best-selling memoir, The Art of the Deal, which went on to sell over 1 million copies. He launched his own airline, Trump Shuttle. He made appearances on Oprah, Larry King, Letterman, talking about everything from the state of the U.S. economy to foreign affairs.
We let Japan come in and dump everything right into our markets and everything. It's not free trade.
Little did we know he was just laying the base for future operations.
This sounds like political presidential talk to me, and I know people have talked to you about whether or not you want to run. Would you ever?
Probably not.
Presidential plans or not, things had to be put on hold because the Donald took a big hit when he went through a very public divorce with his wife Ivana. This was after she had found out about his mistress, former beauty queen Marla Maples. Now, if you think he got off easy, well, Ivana, she had a pretty firm outlook on the whole situation.
Don't get mad, get everything.
By the early 90s, Trump was struggling to pay his debts. He declared corporate bankruptcy, closed his airline, sold his mega yacht, the Trump Princess, and it cost banks hundreds of millions of dollars in restructuring his debt. But don't worry guys, this is Donald Trump. It wasn't over. He began to rebuild, but this time, well, he would make money off his image, off his name. He began selling products based around the Trump franchise. He would also make many a public appearance, and he released his second book, The Art of the Comeback. Oh yeah, and there was the $300 million estate Fred Trump left behind when he died in 1999, so that probably helped. Trump was entering the new millennium with a fresh start, but it wasn't until 2003 that the wheels would be put into motion that would change everything when it came to Donald Trump. In 2004, NBC, they premiered their new reality game show titled The Apprentice.
You're fired. You're fired. You're fired. You're fired.
The first season had ratings of 20 million, and Donald was back in the homes and hearts of the American people. And the rest of the story, well, you know the story, because this is before they're famous.
The way he was taken away by two young women, that will never happen with me.
My name's Mike McCrudden. Thanks for checking out my personal channel. I hope you enjoyed this story on Donald Trump. Be sure to let me know who you want to hear about next in the comments down below. As you know, I document everyone. We do actors, comedians, rappers, porn stars, YouTubers. No one's left off the table. So let me know down below who you want to hear about next. Also, let me know what you think about Donald Trump. I look forward to reading your comments.
He's sweating like a pig.